As the year keeps going, many games continue to come out, and the entire gaming community contemplates whether these games are a 10 out of 10 or not. In my case, I'm just having a blast going back to the days of the PS2, the PS3, without this unnecessary pressure of, hey, what is the score of this game? Maybe I played a game back in the day, but I didn't complete the trilogy. Now I can play that without any additional stress or pressure because people are not focusing on that. Hey everybody, Juan here, welcome back. For this video, we're going to be highlighting my recent pickups, why I decided to get these games in 2020, where some of them are just completely random. Others, I come from that place of curiosity because I really want to be able to play and judge these games for myself. I'm also going to be talking about Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. I recently beat that on my Xbox One as part of the backwards compatibility for it, and that motivated me to get some additional games. But before I keep going, if you like what I do, please consider subscribing, clicking on that bell, going down to the comment section, and let me know when it comes to the summertime. Which games have you either picked up recently or which ones are on that wish list and you're like, ooh, I gotta get me one of those? Please let me know in the comments. And getting to the very first pickup, we gotta talk about the Prince of Persia HD trilogy, which includes The Sands of Time, Warrior Within, and The Two Thrones. This is a PS3 trilogy that on eBay, it's starting to go up in price. So I've seen it for 40, 30, give or take. I was actually able to get this for a pretty low price. Patience is virtue, people. In a previous pickups video, I highlighted that I got The Sands of Time for the original Xbox and I played and beat that on my Xbox One X. My only nitpick is that the original version was a 4x3 on the original Xbox, so even though on the Xbox One X it makes it look nice and crisp, it is not widescreen, which motivated me to get this because apparently Warrior Within and The Two Thrones are not backwards compatible on the Xbox One, which is very confusing, but really that just gave me another reason to. People, I like to get games for the PS3, right? So let's actually talk about Sands of Time before we keep going on with these other games. I remember when I saw The Sands of Time being revealed, it was at a gaming magazine, and I was stunned by the graphical fidelity of the character. You could walk on walls. It just seemed like a legitimate game from the next generation. A lot of games from the PS2, GameCube, and Xbox generation looked just fine, but there was something just completely unique about this game, and playing this one in 2020, whether you get this trilogy or play the other one on PC or anything like that, The Sands of Time is still an incredible game. Are there some things that feel a little bit outdated? Absolutely, and we're going to get to talking about that in just a second, but it feels like a high-budget game. The animation, just look at this right now. I really do believe that this game motivated the developers for games like Uncharted, Assassin's Creed, so many different things, because while I was playing this game, I kept thinking to myself like, wow, this really is something that became such a staple of modern games. But here we have it in the early 2000s. A thing I completely forgot about is that this game is a puzzle platformer / an action game, and sometimes you can get lost while playing it, but when you get to the save points, because you're talking about time manipulation and all this, they actually give you a glimpse of the future. So this is nice in case you're somebody like me and you get overwhelmed and you overthink and then can't make any actual progress. You can look at this and figure out what you need to do. My favorite thing about the game has got to be the actual platforming, the way that you maneuver yourself around the entire stages, taking a stop and then just figuring out that's where I need to go and how do I actually get there. The big gameplay mechanic in this game is The Sands of Time. Figure that one out. And even though it's nice, I actually barely used it because I thought that anytime that I actually fell down and died, either I couldn't go back to the point that I really wanted to or anything like that. So more often than not, I kind of forgot about it. Are you seeing this right now? Although with your dagger, you can stun enemies and actually break them apart, so I like that element, but the actual time element, I really didn't bother too much with it. Dare I say, this game actually gets better with its platforming over time, to the point that, without getting into any spoilers, towards the end of the game, they remove the Sands of Time. So if you fall and die, you gotta start over again. The platforming at the end was so damn good. I was like, I want more of this throughout the rest of the game. The two things I was not a big fan of was the combat and the camera angles. The camera is atrocious, people. More often than not, I actually died or fell because the camera just didn't quite figure itself out. And I think this was a very common occurrence with games in the early 2000s. We still have that problem sometimes today, but with this game, it was pretty bad. The combat from the very beginning of the game all the way to the end is pretty much the same, to the point that once you figure out a pattern, you kind of can just keep doing that and you're going to keep on progressing. But the problem is that sometimes they don't know when to stop having the enemies from showing up, so you're just doing the same thing over and over. And that's actually what tempted me to get the trilogy, because many people, as I was streaming this on twitch.tv/MrPlayerJuan, gotta get the plugs out there, many people said, hey, those things that you were complaining about, they actually fixed most of those in the following game. So I'm very much looking forward to giving my overall impressions about the Prince of Persia trilogy on the PS3. If you've played any of the other games, please let me know what you think of them in the comments. Now, completely switching gears, here we have excellent games, positive games that people like to talk about. Genji, Days of the Blade. I almost said Dawn of the Blade. Genji, Days of the Blade. If you haven't heard about this game, you probably saw some E3 presentations from Sony when they were highlighting the PS3 and they showed a giant enemy crab on screen, and that's all people could remember about this game. I got this for less than $5. When I say my other videos that right now is the time to buy PS3 games, I really do mean it, because less than $5 complete. Let's actually open this up. Complete in box. I actually love checking out the back, and this is a launch title for the PS3, so I love the attention to detail. This is a sequel to a PS2 game that I actually own, and it came out in 2005. This one came out in 2006. And I started playing it, and as a matter of fact, I repurposed my older YouTube channel where I used to stream at, and now that's going to be a basic old school YouTube Let's Play channel. And right now, you can check out the first 15 minutes of Genji Days of the Blade. So this footage that you're looking at right now is part of that video. So if you want to get my live reaction, you can take a look at that. But later in the year, I hope to beat this game and compare it to the PS2 one, which I played the demo, and that one, it does seem to look almost just as good, and the gameplay seems to be a little bit better. So if you've played Genji Days of the Blade or Dawn of the Samurai, which is the PS2 game, let me know in the comments. Now people, I have a gripe, because if you tell me that it is an orange box, I am expecting an orange box, not a traditional standard transparent PS3 case with the orange box. I've actually played a lot of these games on PC, and it was a couple of you in the comments in previous PS3 videos that you told me, hey, in Team Fortress 2, people are still playing it on the PlayStation 3. I actually rented this back in the day when it first came out. The PS3 version of the orange box is infamously the least patched version, to the point that Team Fortress, I played it again now, and I don't think it even runs at 30 frames per second, but I love the fact that there is a passionate community playing these games. This footage that you're looking at right now of Portal is of me playing Portal from this PS3 version, and damn it, Portal is such a good game. I actually beat Portal way back in the day, and I'm planning on doing a standalone video about this game in the near future, talking about Team Fortress 2. What is that like now? Because this one doesn't have payload, it doesn't have all the things, all the updates that we got on PC, etc. So in many ways, this is the most vanilla original version of the orange box, and it's actually pretty hard to pick up. I had to go on eBay, and they had less than 10 different versions. Every single morning, legitimately, I was just opening up the app and then looking at newly listed, and then one morning I actually saw a pretty damn good price, hit purchase. It took like 3 weeks to show up, because with the pandemic and everything, things are taking quite a while to show up. But Half-Life 2, I should probably talk about the main game, right? I actually haven't beaten Half-Life 2, which I'm quite ashamed of. I don't know if I shared the story before, but I play quite a bit on PC. The problem is this idiot hit save at a specific part of the game where I had no health. And every single time I tried to get out of that area, I would just die. And both the manual save and the quick save are on the very same spot, which led to me just stopping playing the game. Maybe I can play this version now and actually take a look at it. So I haven't played Half-Life 2, I haven't played any of the episodes, I haven't played Half-Life 3, because we'll never get to play that game, unless maybe I'm like 80 years old. But if you've played any of these games recently, let me know what you think of them, especially Portal, because damn it, Portal is such a good game. And this next game I also got for less than $5. As a matter of fact, I think it was $4.60 for the PS3, we got to talk about Dragon Age Origins. Now, I have this revelation. I have this thing that I got to share, and I'm afraid of how many people may react. But as somebody that has played Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, I played the multiplayer on 3. I played Jade Empire, although I didn't beat it, but I am familiar with BioWare. I have played Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This guy right here has never played a single Dragon Age game. Now, please don't hit me. I'm a pretty good guy, and that's why I got it, okay? I got this game because I made sure to tell myself, Juan, you're probably not going to beat the game. Knowing how long it is, knowing how much time you got to dedicate to a game like that to really get the complete experience, I did not buy this game with the intention of completing it, but I at least want to be able to play enough hours of it to get a sense, to get an idea of why is it when people talk about BioWare, this game always becomes part of the conversation. It's an action RPG, I believe, to the point that I've barely even seen gameplay, okay? This is a video game genre that for many years, I just completely stopped experiencing. I switched more to first-person shooters. So now in 2020 and beyond, I think I'm really just getting back into a lot of genres that I abandoned for many years or ones that I never cared about to begin with. And now in 2020, I'm kind of just like really caring about that. Like I've been playing Super Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo, games that I really did not care about back in the day. And damn, I am really bad at that game, people. But I'm enjoying it. I love that frustration. And there is no way in hell younger Juan would have cared about that game. So if you've played Dragon Age Origins, let me know more so than your actual experience with the game. What should I know about? Are there any hints, suggestions for somebody that can get frustrated with a game like this? Please let me know. And maybe I can even stream it on Twitch eventually, and you can share some tips with that. And this last game was actually sent by one of you. So shout out to Kevin C from NYC, a very special member of this community. I really do got to give you a shout out specifically to you, man, because you, alongside everybody else, you make this channel fun. I love the fact that I can go to the comments and I'm like, oh, this person commented again, or oh, I'm publishing this video. I wonder what Yannick or Sir Meatwad and everybody else thinks about that. And Kevin actually sent me an email to Juan@playerjuan.com and said, hey, I got a second copy of Cooking Mama Cookstar for the Nintendo Switch. Would you like that? I've actually never played a Cooking Mama game, so I was curious about this because initially it came out and then they pulled it back, and now I think everybody can buy it. And playing some of this game on Twitch and offline, I'm having a pretty good time with it because I think that the Joy-Cons and the motion controls actually work out pretty well. But talking about the actual game, some plates look beautiful, other ones look like something I would never eat, even if you paid me to eat that. But the fact that you can continue to make things happen and you move things around with the Joy-Con, I've been playing a lot of games on the Nintendo Wii right now, like Super Mario Galaxy, Trauma Center, Second Opinion. There is a time and place for games like this that maybe, yeah, they're a little bit gimmicky. They are not your traditional games, and that's fine because I think in a time where people definitely need to smile a bit and get along, you get a game like this and you have yourself a pretty good time. So once again, Kevin, thank you so much for sending that, and I hope that you're all pretty safe. So that's going to be doing it for this pickups video, highlighting once again the Prince of Persia trilogy, Genji, Days of the Blade, the Orange Box, Dragon Age Origins, and Cooking Mama, Cookstar. And let me know, among these games, is there a specific one you would like me to work on an individual video about? Please let me know in the comments, as well as if you're done with this video and you want some more stuff on that Let's Play channel, I have not one, not two, 3 videos available right now. The first one is for SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I'm thinking of doing a standalone video about that one as well, but I have a 12-minute Let's Play session available right now. I also have a video where I failed horribly at playing Crash Bandicoot 1 from the Insane Trilogy on the PS4, and then I have the first 15 minutes of Genji, Days of the Blade from the PS3. So if you like what I do, please consider subscribing, clicking on that bell, and up until next time, thank you for watching and supporting, and take care, everybody.